First off, drinker, can you please give a shout out to my friend Fallon, who's at basic right now for the National Guard? Second, let's play a game of Bang, Marry, Erase, WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, or Loki. Finally, all love to Chrissy. Aw, thanks, Colt.
Well, best of luck to your friend Fallon, who's doing basic right now. I hope he sails through it, and yeah, great stuff for his service.
Yeah.
So, Bang, Marry, and Erase. Oh man.
Are we not saying fuck, marry, kill anymore?
Whatever you want.
Trying to save me the YouTube strike. Oh well, perfect.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I swear all the time on my videos, I never get a strike or anything like that. I don't know if like the YouTube algorithm literally can't puzzle out what I'm saying in my accent, and it might be that. Fuck. What does that mean?
You might be getting like the Scottish, the Scottish help over there.
Yeah.
Okay, fuck, America, WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, or Loki. I would say kill Falcon Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think out of the three, that's the most grating and the most like obnoxious of the lot.
It was obnoxious. I really couldn't buy that that the sister of the guy who's an Avenger couldn't get a bank loan. You're telling me there's no connections, there's nobody who can help them out? Like, that's just not realistic.
Yeah, it was just done there to push an agenda, push a message. I suppose out of the last two, I'd bang Loki and marry WandaVision if I had to rank them. Yeah.
So WandaVision less insufferable than Loki. You felt like they were less
probably
pushing a message.
I gave WandaVision some credit because I really like the concept, like the 1950s sitcoms and the kind of attention to detail as they went through the different decades. I like that. It was a nice little touch. It's just that it had a really disappointing ending. Whereas Loki was just kind of shit all the way through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, speaking of shows that you gotta kind of like be patient with, the first 2-3 episodes of WandaVision, it was like I don't really get what's going on. I bet a lot of people tuned out for that reason, just because it still wasn't they weren't making the audience aware that like this is you're watching somebody's like Conjuring. You're just like, oh, are we watching something in the 50s?
See, I was intrigued enough to watch it because I love when they do this in films and stories and stuff where everything seems to be normal and cheerful and everything, but you just get these little glimpses of something more sinister beneath the surface, just a little hint that there's something not quite right about all of it. And, you gradually get that stronger sense as you go through each episode. I like that gradual build-up, and I think it's quite a cool concept to play with. That's what kept me invested in WandaVision, ironically enough.
Yeah, and also, what's her name? Olsen. She, I think, did a really great job. I still can't believe she's related to like Mary-Kate and Ashley.
Yeah, Elizabeth Olsen. Yeah, she's a good actress, and she gave a great performance because again, she has to be so many different versions of herself throughout that show. She has to act like the 1950s housewife. She has to be like the 70s, kind of girlfriend in like the bell-bottom jeans and everything. Like it's and her attitude changes all the way through it, so it's pretty good acting,
and still be able to like show those like hints, like those cracks of right, exactly what you said, something more sinister beneath the surface. Yeah, I guess I would agree with you there on bang Loki and marry WandaVision, because my biggest gripe with WandaVision was probably just like it's not really, at the end it wasn't believable. Like, they don't understand what you sacrificed for them. And it's like, you held a whole town hostage like that. Don't expect anybody to be sympathetic to your motherly instincts.
This is the thing that's really crept into these Marvel TV shows, is the really sketchy morality that they're trying to push, where like characters are doing really awful things, and then they're just kind of told, yeah, it's fine, don't worry too much about it. There's something like that in Black Widow where I know you haven't seen it, but Rachel Weisz's character turns out to be like a kind of scientist working for the bad guy, and she's developed all these mind control techniques that have basically enslaved thousands of girls all around the world and turned them into Black Widows. They're physically compelled to do what they're ordered to.
Is it called TikTok?
Her. Yeah, yeah. But then she's never punished for that, and she's never even really blamed for it. She's just told to go on her way and everything's fine. Which is really odd. And I feel like in a different decade that wouldn't have happened, but now it's okay. And it's really, really strange stuff they're trying to push now. I don't get it.
Right. So is it a reflection of our like slipping morality, or is it just laziness to not give those scenes that the real weight of reality?
I think there's a little bit of both. I think, again, when we were talking about how they they will try to put down male characters and they'll try to big up the female characters at any cost, to the point where they're never even shown as being fallible. Like Wanda, for example, she did some pretty awful things in WandaVision. She held an entire town hostage and mind controlled them. And then she's praised at the end, and she's told they'll never understand what you had to sacrifice for them. That's a really strange thing to say to someone who's done something like that. But I feel like if Wanda had been a male, she would have not gotten away with this. She would have been punished.
Right, because she would have been like, oh, the heartless male. I would have really enjoyed seeing, and we saw like maybe snippets of it. Like, remember kind of on the outskirts of town when someone would get to like the far edges of town and things would get real squirrely, like you'd see people looping. And I think one of the characters, like one of the side characters, alluded to like their son or their child just being stuck or being gone. I think if we could have peeked into maybe like borderline some child abuse, like basically like not directly through her hand, but but as a result of her actions, and just like, not like I'm asking to see anything gross, but like let's see some real ramifications of what she's done. I don't know. Maybe she could see it, and then she questions her whole like, oh, maybe I'm not a great mother. Look what I'm doing to these other kids.
Yeah, I think they cover that in the show because there's an issue right throughout the whole show where you don't ever see children in the background. There's never any children playing in the streets or anything like that. And it's because all of the real children in the town have basically been locked in their rooms. Like Wanda has forced the adults to lock them in and they can't get them out. It's framed as if she's doing it as an act of mercy. Like, oh, well, they're safe in their rooms. But they've been there for days and they don't have any food.
Yeah, they're shitting everywhere and they're starving.
Yeah, and they're probably terrified. It's like, why is my mom and dad acting like completely different people now? And why have they locked me in this place?
Yeah, a few of them probably have escaped outside their windows.
Yeah, so it's all kinds of stuff which is just never addressed. And it's really odd that like the show just glosses over all these things because they're pretty serious problems.
Yeah, she's pretty like kind of selfish in that way.